Howard Tubey grew up in the Oaklands era during the war years of the 1940s. Back then, organized youth sports were rare. Although some school and neighborhood teams played pickup games, it was do-it-yourself for most young Victoria athletes. But Howard was keen on sport, and his initial connection with the team was this Oakland school lacrosse gang, which included the likes of Buckshot Thomas, Lou McCorkle, and Duffer McCaughey on their squad. Howard was the team's water boy. The next couple of years saw his long legs earn him some Victoria School track meet ribbons before he headed off to Boys Central School. His route to school took him past the Steveston Park lacrosse box, past Vic High where his favorite Dominoes played basketball, and past Cavy's Confectionery on Pandora. But that route led him into a lifetime of organized sport, which began with the 1943 Murdy's juvenile lacrosse team. There, once again, those long legs led him to more than a few goals against the James Bay Athletics Association Bays, their only opposition. Although the Big Bad Bays beat them in the playoffs, Howard got his first try at a BC championship when the Bays added him to their lineup for what turned out to be an unsuccessful title bid. That turned out to be the beginning of Howard's menu collection. The most expensive item on this elite cafe menu was a steak and fries for 90 cents. During the winter months, Domino's basketball filled the local sports pages, and Mr. KV's store sponsored 4 basketball teams for boys of different ages, all organized by Harold Turner. As a 15-year-old, Howard Tubey had a second shot at a BC title when his KV's team went to Vancouver. This time, his team won. In 1945, the Murdy's lacrosse team won the city junior title, but couldn't beat Vancouver Kymount in the provincial final. That winter, Howard's gang of guys formed a new team with the help of his dad, who helped them secure sponsorship of the Eagles. Most of those boys, including Howard, were also playing on the Victoria High School team. This menu is from their trip to Port Angeles. In their second season, coached by Gar Taylor, they went undefeated in league play and downed Duncan, Alberni, and Richmond for a spot in the provincial finals in Kamloops. The overnight train ride to get there took its toll, and they lost their first match by 18 points. But they regrouped and scored a 22-point comeback victory to win the 1946 BC Championship Cup. Howie had been eyeing a pretty brunette, and that spring he accumulated enough courage to ask her for a date. She agreed and suggested a game of tennis. Although that wasn't quite what he had in mind, that date resulted in him trading in his lacrosse stick for a tennis racket and was the start of 2 more lifelong love affairs, tennis and family. Howie went off to work at the Victoria Ice Plant, but his interest in basketball and consistent foul shooting kept him playing in the Senior B circuit. He also began his coaching career by coaching the Tillicum Athletic Boys squad to a BC championship. In 1949, he joined the YMCA team in Senior A ball. Although Alberni reigned in that circuit, Howie and his cohorts, led by Johnny Clark and Rookie Wright, battled them under the individuals' colors at the new badminton hall. In an effort to keep top-level ball alive in Victoria, he also played with the Kins and the Orphans. They had their best shot in 1953 when they took the BC final against the Vancouver Cloverleafs to 6 games. That same season, Howie also coached his first women's basketball team, CNC Taxi, to the city title and onto the Canadian Junior Championships. Victoria produced its largest basketball crowd ever when almost 5,000 people jammed the Memorial Arena to see the Harlem Globetrotters play the Toledo Mercuries and the Kins take on the NBA Boston Whirlwinds. The halftime show included a free throw shooting contest between one player from each team. Howie hit 13 in a row to oust all 3 pros. After 6 seasons and 3 BC crowns, Howard Tubey's Tillicum boys stepped up to the Junior Men's League under the Scott and Peden banner. Their toughest loss came that same year when they dropped the first game of the provincial final by 13 points. But they scrapped back to win the second total points contest by 13 and tied the series, only to lose out in overtime. After that, Howie turned to coaching youngsters along Busher Jackson and Harold Turner as part of the First United Church program. their future stars learned that going to Sunday school was rewarded in more than one way. Boys from that program went on to form one of the city's top junior men's team, the Chinooks, co-coached by Howie and Busher Jackson. Howie later extended his basketball devotion into a third decade, coaching the 1974 Senior A Scorpions. At the same time, he was honing his forehand shot at the Victoria Lawn Tennis and Badminton Club through the summer months. When that club closed, he joined the BC Electric Club and later the Oak Bay Tennis Club. He offered free lessons to encourage youngsters to try the sport and went on to become a certified BC tennis instructor. That led him to becoming the coordinator of Oak Bay Recreation summer tennis classes, and then he teamed up with Gordon Hartley to organize and run an intermunicipal tennis program for both adult and junior tennis players. Having built a great foundation as a player in both basketball and tennis, Howie became not just a great coach, but a mentor to an entire generation of Victoria athletes. And now his legacy is spotlighted for future generations as we induct into the Greater Victoria Sports Hall of Fame Howard Tubey.